Hey, I'm Alexander, and today we'll take a look at T3 Plus IEM from TINHiFi. This sample was kindly provided by TINHiFi in exchange for my honest review. As always, I'm not paid to say anything in particular about the product, and all thoughts and opinions in today's episode are my own. T3 Plus is an updated version of T3 and it features a 10mm LCP dynamic driver with high-performance magnets, ergonomic shell design, and high-quality oxygen-free copper detachable cable. The headphones are packed in a medium-sized carton box. On the front of the box there's a T3 Plus lettering and a TINHiFi logo. Inside this box we have another carton box with a lid. In this box we have T3 Plus IEMs, detachable cable, 6 pairs of silicone ear tips, 1 pair of blue foam ear tips, carrying pouch, user manual, and a context card. Impedance of this IEM is 32 ohms, sensitivity is 105 dB, cable is removable and it has 0.78mm 2-pin connectors. Now let's talk about design and build. First of all, T3 Plus looks quite different to the original T3. T3 Plus shells are made from a medical grade resin as opposed to the metal shells of the original T3. The shells are quite large and have an interesting marble textured faceplate. Each earpiece is hand polished and they look amazing. Faceplates carry TINHiFi logos in gold. The logos are etched directly into faceplate and that gives this IEM quite a distinctive look. There's also one small vent on the back side of each shell. The nozzles are made from metal, they are on the shorter side and have average thickness. There is a metal mesh at the end of each nozzle and also a small lip that helps with ear tips retainment. Each earpiece also has a clear channel marking on the inside part of the shell. All tests in my review have been performed using the stock silicone ear tips. Overall, I like the build quality and the distinctive look of this IEM. Now let's talk about fit and comfort. The shells are large in size, but they're light and have an ergonomic shape. Due to ergonomic design, when inserted, the shells have a very natural feel. The nozzles are on a shorter side, but finding a good fit and seal with stock ear tips wasn't a problem at all. I have been using this pair for extended periods of time and the IEMs are very comfortable. Despite having a single vent, the IEM are good at blocking the outside noise and I had no problems when I was using this pair out in the street. The cable that comes with this IEM is surprisingly good for its price bracket. It's 1.2 meters long, high-quality oxygen-free copper cable with a straight 3.5mm connector on one end and two 0.78 2-pin connectors on the other ends. The connectors also have color markings for the left and right channel. The cable has got a tidy braid, a metal Y-splitter, metal chin slider and soft pre-molded ear hooks. The cable is a bit thin, but it's very low in microphonics and works really well. Now let's talk about the sound. Please note that all sound impressions that I'm sharing on my channel are completely subjective, so please take them with a grain of salt. I had no issues driving this pair from my Samsung Galaxy S10 that was able to bring this pair to my comfort levels of volume with some additional headroom left. T3 Plus has got a balanced sound signature with well-controlled bass response, natural mid-range and slightly bright treble. When paired with a more powerful source, T3 Plus provides a great performance, especially in the low frequencies department. Compared to the original T3, T3 Plus is definitely a step forward as the company managed to keep the pros of T3 like natural mids and bass response and fixed some of its shortcomings. The bass on this pair is not the most resolving and fast, but surprisingly it offers a solid low frequencies presentation. The sub-bass on this pair has a good extensions and provides a solid rumble. It's well controlled and has a good amount of punch. The mid-bass is lacking a bit of weight and punch, so we can say sub-bass is more dominant on this pair. Still, the sub-bass and mid-bass work well together, they just don't have a lot of texture. Overall, the bass is well tuned for this price bracket. It's not overwhelming, but it's enough for most genres. The mid-range on T3 Plus is natural, transparent and detailed. As there is some bass bleed into mids, the lower mids sound a bit thick but at the same time quite warm, though the additional weight works in favor of male vocals and guitars. Upper mids are energetic and clean without being harsh or sibilant. The upper mids are well defined, they are detailed and I especially liked how female vocals sound on this pair. Instruments have a natural timbre and definition and sit well in the mix. Overall, the mid-range has got a natural timbre, it's full, clean and detailed. The treble of T3 Plus is well extended and energetic. It's relatively smooth, but with some poor recorded material, treble can be borderline harsh. Though in my case it never crossed that line. But if you're a treble sensitive person, you need to pay attention to this fact. The treble has got a good amount of sparkle and it's lively enough to add necessary clarity and details to overall mix. At the same time, the treble works really well with the warm tonality, perfectly balancing the low end and making the IEM tuning comfortable for long listening sessions. Overall, I was pleased with the treble on T3 Plus and in my opinion is better controlled compared to the original T3. T3 Plus has got a solid soundstage for a pair of IEMs in this price bracket and is definitely a step up from the original T3. The soundstage width is above average, depth is about average and the music slightly sounds out of your head. Resolution and detailed retrieval are good and I was pleasantly surprised with it. Separation of instruments, while not class leading, is still better than on many pairs of IEMs in this price bracket. Imaging is good and I can easily locate everything within my music. Nothing is out of place, which is all that we should be asking at this price tag. In addition, I have noticed that T3 Plus works really well for multiplayer games as the imaging is accurate and on point. Let's summarize. T3 Plus is very interesting IEM with a solid tuning and an excellent performance per dollar ratio. Pros: attractive design and good build, comfortable fit and good passive isolation, balanced sound signature with a boosted sub-bass, great sounding mid-range with a full and rich vocals, good soundstage and imaging, and excellent price to performance ratio. Cons: mid-bass lacks impact and punch and treble could use just a bit of more air. T3 Plus are not perfect, but they provide a very solid performance and I like their tuning a lot. This IEM works well for many genres of music and I particularly enjoyed vocal and instrumental music with this pair. However, I will mention that this pair won't be appealing to those who seek bass slam and heavy mid-bass impact. Overall, T3 Plus provides a crisp and clean sound presentation, it does a lot of things right and I'd say it's one of the most interesting sub $100 IEMs currently on the market, especially if you're tired of pronounced V-shaped tunings and you're looking for something more interesting. Alright guys, that's all from me for today and I hope that you enjoyed this review. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive new video updates. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.